you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You good to go?
Yeah.
All righty.
Good as I'm ever gonna be.
All righty.
Tell me what's the difference when tryna get it on your own. Born rash, yeah, gotta go and get rash long. Can't forget about the times I was hung out alone. Now I'm getting to the money and I'm rocking all these shows. Never mind the things, I'm pulling on, rocking on designer jeans. Fucking on the bitch, and you know she slipping all on the dick. Counting on the rash, yeah, I'm on my shit. Close to the stars, how life. What you gon' do, tryna give me 2 lives? On my knees, yeah, I'm tryna get it right. Fighting all the demons all around me. So what you gon' do is you gon' fight. Gotta be well protected. Separate all the wrongs in my life. Gotta be well respected. Keep a pistol on my side. Drive off in that Lexus. Swerve off and go get high. Tell me what's the difference when tryna get it on your own. Born rash, yeah, gotta go and get rash long.
Disclaimer. The opinions expressed during this podcast are conversational in nature and expressed only in comedic and entertainment purposes. Not all of the facts will be correct, but we attempt to be as accurate as possible. At least I think we do. My bad, y'all. Theater holds no liability over these conversations on this podcast, and using this podcast, you understand that it is solely for entertainment purposes only. Enjoy the damn show. Laugh, love, live, and smile more, because we about to. We are back with another episode of You Don't Pay Me Enough to Care, and I am your special co-host, Sebastian Sat Harris. Of course, everybody know, and a lot of people been asking, where is Raina at? But Raina has been going through a lot, so we're going to keep Raina in our prayers. But today we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Sheffield Hale. He's the president and CEO of Atlanta History Center, and we gonna get into some things and talk about some things of how he got started and his career paths. We got a couple questions we're gonna ask him. And also, he executive produced the Monuments of the Untold Stories of Stone Mountain. Monuments of Untold Stories of Stone Mountain. We're going to get into that documentary that they did. It's an awesome job, too, by the way, and I'll put a link in the description on the YouTube channel when we get there. So, hey, Mr. Sheffield, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm just here waiting to find out what's going on. You're going to tell me.
Okay, so let's look. All right, let's start right here. Where I want to start it at is I read something in I think it was the Atlanta Journal, and it said Atlanta Journal Constitution. Let's start it there, and it says bringing clarity history to monumental community decisions, and that was in June of 2017. You pledged that the role is to encourage and discuss that it is inclusive, productive, and based on accurate history at the History Center. So you want to elaborate on what you meant by that?
Well, I was talking to the press, so you never know what I meant. It depends, but what I'm trying to say is, at least here at Atlanta History Center, what we're trying to do is give accurate history, straight up, without blaming or shaming or doing anything. Just tell it like it is and show our work. That's what we're trying to do.
Because history either going to bring people together or spread people apart. So that's how I always looked at it.
Yeah, we try. We have a common history that people experience very differently, and we got to admit to what that was, and explain it, and not fall for all the tropes.
I totally agree.
But we got to figure out how to take that and move with it.
Awesome. So let's give a briefing to the audience on who you are and where you're from, and how did you get started with saying, you know what, I want to own my own history center and be the boss, actually, because he is the boss.
Well, I don't own anything. So I was born here in Atlanta, and then I was always been interested in history, and I went to Georgia and was a history major, and figured out that would be a real hard way to make a living. So I decided to become a lawyer, and so I went to Virginia Law School, University of Virginia, and then came back and practiced law here for a long time, 16 years. And during that time, I was real involved with got involved in Atlanta History Center. And then while I was at Georgia, I wrote my senior paper at the history department on the Richard Russell's election to the Senate in 1932. And it was published in Atlanta Historical Journal, which
That's
we had
awesome.
at the time. And then so I got involved, and I did a lot of things here, and I eventually got on the board, became chair, and I was chair of the board, and then I went off the board, and one of the people I'd hired just retired when I was been chair, and some of the board members said, "Hey, I was then the chief counsel of the American Cancer Society." They said, come, what do you think about coming to the History Center? I said, I don't know, but but I said I'll look at it, and I talked about it, and then they had a national search, and they interviewed me. And next thing I know, I was like, I'm selling myself. So here I am, and they picked me, and I had no idea I'd ever be here.
Job.
But it was fun. It's really been fun. It's been a great 11 years.
Yeah. So you were you worked for the American Cancer Society for how long?
10 years. I was their chief counsel.
Wow. So what made you get into that? Was that just
part of the? It was a huge nonprofit, and it was a big legal role.
Okay.
And I had been doing like bank mergers and acquisitions and securities work, and if you're general counsel, you do a little bit of everything. And got to do a lot of advocacy work, which some I was about how we were real involved in helping to get the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare passed. And so I was involved in that and wrote a legal brief to the Supreme Court, and that was kind of fun. So
that's awesome.
There are a lot of different moving parts, but I did that for 10 years, and then this opportunity came up, and this is a much smaller organization. The American Cancer Society is like $1 billion a year in revenue, and this one's about $11 million a year. But this is much cooler.
Yeah, you get to relax a little bit.
Well, I don't get to relax. I just got to get stuff done. I get to be the idiot I have to work for.
They always say when you're in charge of things, it's more stressful than actually just doing the work, working for somebody versus
It can be
being the leader in charge.
It can be, but it's much better. I'd much rather be the president and CEO of an $11 million organization than chief counsel for $1 billion. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
So how long have you been doing this now? You said
11 years.
11 years, okay. You guys, like I said, we're at the Atlanta History Center, and it sits on 33 acres of land, 175,000 square feet of, real estate property. I saw you said that you went to school at University of Virginia for law. What made you want to get into law? Well, was that always
Well, it's what history majors typically did, right? Say, well, what am I going to do? I've got this great degree. I could go get a PhD and teach, or I could go to law school. That's about the two options. And so anyway, I decided to go to law school, and my father was a lawyer, and it fit my. I can't add or subtract, so I wasn't going to go to business school.
So by your father being a lawyer, was that kind of like something that you just, because how most males, they kind of follow after their father if their father is a good role model and push them that way. So was that like something that you, because I hear a lot of people, they say they go to college and then it's like, oh, this is something that I started with, I'm going to finish it, but then it'd be something else that they really wanted to do.
It was something I didn't know what else to do, and a lot of people go into law with that. And so that's why some of them end up being priests, because they're like, damn, I don't want to do this. Maybe I'll be a priest.
Right.
I don't know. But I enjoyed it.
Right.
And I love being a lawyer. But this is much more fun.
Gotcha. Okay, so now that you're here, what would be an angle that you see happening in the next 10 years for the History Center? Because I see went back and looked at how it used to look to what it looks like now. You did some nice upgrades to it.
Well, hell yeah. That's the whole point. We're burning daylight around here, and it's time. It's time to make sure. I would like for this place to be better known and more people to come.
Yeah.
And I think we've really set the table for that. We're going to redo all of our major exhibits on the Civil War, for example. We're going to totally redo that one and expand it, and expand the period to 1850 to 1875 to the end of Reconstruction, and have a Civil War era. And so you can tell a bigger story there, and because it's 25 years old, it's time to. We've got a whole new all these new collections we've acquired since then.
Wow.
And then we can tell just different stories. So we're going to do that. We don't need any more space to heat or air condition. That's expensive enough. It's really expensive. It's a huge part of our budget.
Crazy.
So we're going to redo what we've got, and it's going to be a lot better. And we're also, really focusing on digital. And so with this movie or documentary Monument, I think that's really a game changer for us.
Yeah,
and
it was awesome. I liked it.
It's getting us. It's like an online exhibit. It's just getting us out, and it's free. Where people want it, they can have it on their phone, or show it on a bigger screen at home, or whatever they want to do. And it's free, and they can do it anytime they want. So that's a great way to get our mission accomplished.
You guys, I'm gonna put the link in the description and on the page, so you guys can actually go and check it out. And I did an interview with Christian, and I put some links and stuff for it too as well. And I actually put a few snippets in her show so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna do that for you too as well.
All right, great. Well, it's been a great response to it.
Yeah.
We went up to Athens Wednesday and showed it at Cine. It was great.
Oh, that's what.
We were packed. It was packed, and
where at in Athens?
It's a place called Cine. It's a independent theater. It's downtown. And it's a nonprofit, and then we had a lot of people from both the university and town who were there. We had Reverend Mosley, who is the head of the Stone Mountain Memorial Association. He's the head of the authority that runs the park. He's pastor out of Athens, and we got to meet him, and he saw the film, and I think he liked it, and he just said they're planning on telling the truth, and I'm like, well, that's progress.
I thought it was good. So you were okay. So let me go back to that one more. Let me ask you one more thing about that. So when you guys were up there, like, how many seats did it hold?
It was just 125, and they had about 138 people in there.
Oh, dang.
Where they count, and so it's like they had to turn people away.
It was wall to wall.
It was wall to wall. We wish we had a bigger space, but you never know. It's a 3:00 on a Wednesday. Who's going to come? Well, everybody.
Everybody showed up.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Like I said, guys, y'all gonna check it out, and it's an awesome documentary. I'm really not a big documentary buff because I think I get so bored watching them, and I fall asleep all the time. But this one was shot very well. It kept my attention.
It's 32 minutes too, so it's not going. You don't have enough time to really get sleepy.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's solid gold for substitute teachers.
I guess
in schools. I mean, they just load it up and say, "Okay, class, here you go. Watch this." And what do you think?
Oh God. But yeah, so that's that for now. Okay, so you were named one of the 100 most influential Atlanteans in the Atlanta Business Chronicles over multiple years. How did you feel about that? And how's that going so far about being actually awarded to have that recognition, that people recognize you?
It's nice. It's nice they're recognizing probably the role that I have and the way that we've expanded that role, and so it's not necessarily me, but when that happens, it's great. It's good reflection on the History Center. Hadn't really changed the way I work, work or walk down the street. My wife, is pretty good at popping my ego every night. So
now wait a minute. That nigga was talking before.
yeah, so she's not put, she's over my ass. She's just, so she says that's really nice, Sheffield. You're 100 nice. Not in this house.
Okay. All right. So your wife pops your ego. Ain't nothing wrong with that though. That's a good thing.
No, she's good.
That's what marriage is all about.
And she's like, it's fine. And she said, all these people saying all these wonderful things about you.
Mm-hmm.
But just remember, I know what you're really like.
Yeah. Yeah.